You know the feeling. It's a specific kind of internal tension. You are aware that you are capable of doing more, being more, and living larger, yet you remain completely stuck in place. This paralysis comes from a survival instinct that has been with humans for tens of thousands of years. It wants to keep you safe by injecting fear and doubt into your decisions. But over time, optimizing strictly for safety constructs a life that feels claustrophobic. To break out of that confinement, we are going to complete a personal alignment audit. By the end of this exercise, you will have a method to strip away your internal fear and map out an accurate trajectory for your life. Step 1 is to physically participate. Grab a pen and a piece of paper right now. The reason we write this down is that keeping internal conflicts strictly in your head gives your fears a home field advantage. Forcing these thoughts out of your mind and onto paper exposes the false logic, keeping you trapped in a life that is too small. To start your audit, we must track two conflicting forces competing for control over your decisions. Voice 1 is your survival instinct. It is loud and it lives entirely in your head, and its sole function is to generate doubt, worry, and anxiety to prevent you from taking risks. This diagram represents two internal forces. Voice 1 on the left, Voice 2 on the right. Voice 2 communicates physically, emitting undeniable truths. But Voice 1 drowns out that truth, driving a metaphorical nail into your psyche to keep you paralyzed. These nails fall into clear categories: draining daily habits and unresolved past experiences you never dealt with. The final two are self-imposed rules, assumptions about what others expect, and the paralyzing fear of leaving an unfulfilling situation. Analyze those 4 buckets on your paper. Write down the specific nail currently keeping you stuck. By writing this down, you name the exact mechanism Voice 1 uses to paralyze you. It destroys the illusion that your stagnation is just bad luck. You have a nail, and now you know exactly what it is. Now that you've identified the nail, the next step is removing it. Be warned, the immediate aftermath of taking corrective action will feel incredibly uncomfortable. The strict first rule of removing your nail is that you must admit the problem out loud. You cannot solve a problem you refuse to acknowledge. This graph plots the worst first principle. Pulling the nail causes an immediate dip in stability. Your survival instinct sounds alarms, equating uncertainty with danger. But the chaos is temporary. Once you navigate that valley, your trajectory climbs, leveling off at a significantly higher plateau. The terror of the dip is not a signal to turn back. It is the mandatory toll required to reach your actual potential. With the constraints identified, we shift from removing the negative to actively plotting a positive trajectory. You have likely heard the advice to follow your passion. That phrase creates toxic pressure by implying you have only one lifelong calling you must do for the next 40 years. We are going to abandon that approach entirely. Instead, draw a large 3x3 grid on your paper. This grid visualizes 9 parallel universes. Document your current trajectory first, then populate the remaining boxes with different paths that excite you. You don't have to pursue all 8, just isolate the shared elements that generate pure excitement. Review your populated grid. Ask yourself, which single path would you commit to right now if you knew failure was completely impossible? Notice how your body reacts to that answer. Excitement and energy do not use words. They are the literal language of Voice 2. True direction is verified physically in your body, not calculated mentally on a spreadsheet. The moment you select your ultimate path from that grid, Voice 1 will immediately flood your mind with rationalizations about why it won't work. Go back to your paper. Write down every specific fear and excuse you have regarding pursuing that chosen path. Fears dictate your behavior when they remain hidden in the recesses of your subconscious. Putting them down on paper strips them of their leverage. You can inspect them, challenge them, and neutralize them. Once the obvious fears are neutralized, Voice 1 deploys its most dangerous weapon. It utters 2 words: not now. It tells you to wait until you have more experience, until the timing is perfect, or until you pay off one more debt. Delaying action for perfect conditions ensures that later seamlessly transitions into never. There is always going to be a new reason to wait. Look at your completed audit. You have exposed the nail keeping you stuck. You have mapped the energy showing you where to go, and you have neutralized the fears trying to hold you back. You do not need a perfect roadmap. Combining your raw, identified energy with an unhedged, all-in commitment provides enough force to start any journey. With the blueprint in front of you, the only remaining variable is a choice. You have to decide exactly which of your two internal voices gets to dictate your actions from this moment forward.